And the bipod on the poly, and away they go from the 1400-meter marker. Along the inside, the grey Cartouche is right there. Catching Zeds is a little bit strong, but is second. Moonlight Mist is third. And Queen's Advance has moved up around them fourth. They are followed at the rail by Sweet Serenity. Licorice Moon is on the outside of runners. And then comes Hot Response. That's the widest of all, about 5 or 6 lengths off the leader. And then comes Pashmina, Wild Empress. Further back is Light Beam as we settle down to race. And at the back is She's a Keeper with Cakewalk. Catching Zeds is the leader, the grey Cartouche is second, and Queen's Advance is third. Moonlight Mist at the rail is fourth, and then comes Hot Response. Licorice Moon, Light Beam, then Sweet Serenity, the white blinkers near the rail. Then She's a Keeper and Pashmina with Wild Empress as they turn into the home stretch, and then Cakewalk. Top of the lane and Catching Zeds is the leader. Cartouche the first one to challenge. Queen's Advance, the yellow sleeves and cap. Hot Response is on the outside. Moonlight Mist between the two of them. And Queen's Advance comes forward now to tackle Cartouche. Moonlight Mist on the inside. Then Licorice Moon on the outside. Hot Response. But Queen's Advance comes into the lead now. Being chased home by Licorice Moon. But Queen's Advance is going on to score. And Queen's Advance has won it. Licorice Moon will get up for second position. Third place, Sweet Serenity, and further back, Cartouche. And running on nicely was Cakewalk. So victory for number 11, and that's Queen's Advance. The filly by Right Approach, Anton Marcus. Settled fourth, was a little bit wide, which was from that draw. Sat in third position and comes forward to tackle them at the 300-meter marker. She certainly did appreciate the extra 200 meters, and Queen's Advance is victorious. Licorice Moon runs into second position. That's number 2. Third placing goes to number 5, Sweet Serenity, then Cartouche. Further back in the field is Cakewalk, Light Beam, Moonlight Mist. And further back is number 8, She's a Keeper, and then Hot Response and Wild Empress. And then came Pashmina and Catching Zeds. The winner, number 11, Queen's Advance, was the tote favourite, shows 190. That's with the yellow sleeves and cap and with the noseband. And then the purple cap is on the right-hand side of Licorice Moon. But at the business end, victory for Queen's Advance, number 11. Of course, Queen's Advance is trained by Dennis Bosch and ridden by Anton Marcus, third time at the track. Bred by Eldora Stud until the running of the second race. Back to the studio.
Well, it's a welcome return for jockey Anton Marcus into the number 1 box, and this was courtesy of the Dennis Bosch yard here on number 11, Queen's Advance, the daughter of Right Approach, making it into the number 1 box at a third race appearance, and of course trying the extra distance today, and a nice win here for this filly. Let's firstly have a chat to Den, and then it looked like the right type of field for her.
Yeah, geez, it wasn't the strongest field, but we have to be careful with this filly. She can get a bit touchy. But, you know, there's a lot of people. I want to thank Mark and Brad McCarty and the family, Rathmore Stud, you know, for buying her. And she's going to go to stud eventually. She's nicely bred, you know. They want to breed with her. And to everybody concerned, you know, and also to Alec, you know, he's ridden her, he stood down. Because he knows the situation with Anton, so he's a gentleman.
Yes.
He didn't argue, he ridden her twice. He knows when Anton comes back, he's got a choice. So, because he does a lot of work in the yard. He's not a bad rider, Alec, you know. So I thank him for riding her for the first 2 times. And to the yard, you know. We're back in the box again. We're doing okay.
Just the 1 runner today, so that's it. 1 winner, 1 runner. Fantastic, Den, and long may it continue. Just a quick comment, the other day, Vibration?
Yeah, you know, he got beat 2.5 leads to 3 leads to the second horse. The winner he's beaten before. I don't want to say it again, Dees. The merit rating's got it all wrong. Sure. First of all, when he won his first race, the public's got to know nothing came out of that. Absolutely nothing. Sure. I think the second, third and fourth horse were running in Kimberley. And they gave him a 90. And then he won his next one on the poly track. And there was nothing that came out of that. So it just tells you win early on the horse, they punish you, and he's certainly not 102. And he's taking old knocking horses, and the horse that won he's actually beaten by. So he's coming back from a long layoff. Sure. So let's hope they drop him. You know, he's around about a 90. He's a 90, 92, somewhere around there. Certainly not 102, that's for sure.
Thanks for the feedback. Let's not steal the thunder away from the owners of this horse. Well done, and give them our best.
I appreciate them. Thank you, Dees.
Thanks for the feedback, Dennis Bosch. And I mentioned a welcome return to jockey Anton Marcus. He's been out, and I'm sure frustrating Anton sitting on the sidelines, and just unfortunate how you had those 2 injuries.
It was unfortunate, but at the same time I was very fortunate because it could have been a hell of a lot worse. So just very grateful to be back. I'd rather put emphasis on the positives than the negatives.
Talking about the positives, how's your healing process been?
Yeah, pretty good, eh? Can't complain. You know, I think like most athletes, you'll probably take a couple of races, you know, to peak fitness, but no complaints at the moment.
So I speak on behalf of everybody involved in racing in South Africa and wherever they're watching around the world. Really nice to have you back, Anton, and nice to see you in the number 1 box early.
Thank you, Dees. Yes, it's great to be back. You know, I'm very fortunate. I get a tremendous amount of support, not only from the people in the racing fraternity, but from the public as well. You know, I don't often get the chance to say thank you to everybody, but just a big thank you.
Coming back to this race, Dennis Bosch seemed to have planned this to the T, because the 1400 seemed to have suited her nicely.
It did. I wasn't all that confident. I thought she might have had her work cut out. I mean, I think even if you took a line through Colin Scott's filly, there's only about a length and a half in it, you know, and she had the advantage of the inside barrier besides 1 or 2 others. But I was fortunate enough, I got away with it.
You got 3 more rides left. You know the horses. Have you been working them?
Yes, I have. I don't want to put anybody off Temple Rock because we certainly hope that he wins. But I would exercise caution, and the next time you see him, he'll be a gelding, win, lose or draw tonight. So maybe you can read between the lines. As I say, within saying that, he is well, but he's desperate to be cut.
Horse like Burwood, Nishak.
Nishak, I thought Divesh was hard to beat. They met once before. I think Divesh finished about 7 lengths in front of him. If Divesh doesn't bring his game to the party, well, then I think he's certainly with a shot. And Burwood, you know, he's very, very genuine, very artistic in their cut, and say he'll win. You know, it's safe to say that he's good for a place.
It's amazing you got a nice association with that horse.
I think I've got a nice association with Colin, you know. I've been very fortunate. I think I got in his back at the right time. His ideal distance is probably a 5.5 furlong. So, you know, I've just got to make sure that I can keep him as close as possible without using up too much gas.
Anton, thanks for coming back. Thanks for your feedback. And again, welcome return and all the best.
Thank you, Dees.
Lovely. Jockey Anton Marcus back into the number 1 box. 11, 2, 5 and 4. That's your provisional results. Race number 1. Coming up next will be the start of the place accumulator. Race number 2. Time to jot down there will be 17:40, 20 to 6. Coming up next, PA time.